Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It is far better take things as they come, along with patience and equanimity. A particularly beautiful woman is a source of terror. As a rule, a beautiful woman is a terrible disappointment. One looks back with appreciation to the brilliant teachers, but with gratitude to those who touched our human feelings. The curriculum is so much necessary raw material, but warmth is the vital element for the growing plant and for the soul of the child. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. We are born at a given moment, in a given place, and, like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and of the season of which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. It all depends on how we look at things and not how they are in themselves. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, their love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. There is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. Children are educated by what the grown-up is and not by his talk. But the most intense conflicts, if overcome, leave behind a sense of security and calm that is not easily disturbed. It is just these intense conflicts and their conflagration which are needed to produce valuable and lasting results. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The man who promises everything is sure to fulfill nothing, and everyone who promises too much is in danger of using evil means in order to carry out his promises, and is already on the road to perdition. Show me a sane man, and I will cure him for you. All the works of man have their origin in creative fantasy. What right have we then to depreciate imagination? The collective unconscious consists of the sum of the instincts and their correlates, the archetypes. Just as everybody possesses instincts, so he also possesses a stock of archetypal images. We shall probably get nearest to the truth if we think of the conscious and personal psyche as resting upon the broad basis of an inherited and universal psychic disposition, which is as such unconscious, and that our personal psyche bears the same relation to the collective psyche as the individual to society. A human being would certainly not grow to be 70 or 80 years old if this longevity had no meaning for the species. The afternoon of human life must also have a significance of its own, and cannot be merely a pitiful appendage to life's morning. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth. And if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. Shrinking away from death is something unhealthy and abnormal, which robs the second half of life of its purpose. We are in a far better position to observe instincts in animals or in primitives than in ourselves. This is due to the fact that we have grown accustomed to scrutinizing our own actions and to seeking rational explanations for them. Understanding does not cure evil, but it is a definite help, inasmuch as one can cope with a comprehensible darkness. Man is not a machine that can be remodeled for quite other purposes as occasion demands, in the hope that it will go on functioning as regularly as before, but in a quite different way. He carries his whole history with him. In his very structure is written the history of mankind. Great talents are the most lovely and often the most dangerous fruits on the tree of humanity. They hang upon the most slender twigs that are icily snapped off. Your vision will become clearer only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Through pride we are ever deceiving ourselves, but deep down below the surface of the average conscience, a still small voice says to us, something is out of tune. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. If there is anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could better be changed in ourselves. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. There is no birth of consciousness without pain.